Okay, I see people are actually jumping in here. Look at all these first-time chatters. Because half you people weren't born the last time I was streaming on my own channel. Hello, Bibs. Hello, Rainbow Phase. Hello. Oh boy, I need to move this closer. I'm gonna be squinting off into space the whole time. Where's my stream chat window? Get me something I can see, please. There we are. Hello, Kaore Lance. Hello, Red Maple Fire. Hello, Azelhi. Hello, Demifly. Hello, Somber Leo. Hello, Kiorun. Hello, Poco Warrior. And hello, I am Blue 555. I did last stream in 1954. I was streaming, I was live streaming my, trying the latest root beer floats down at the malt shop. Also, hello, aloha. Aloha, as we like to say. And, real quick, you know what? Aloha, just for you, I trust you. You can be my first and only mod. Oh, nope, that's the ban button. How do I mod you on my Twitch? I can block you. I can report you. I can manage suspicious user. Oh, hey, Savvy. Nice to see you. Slash mod. That sounds right. Aloha. Okay. And you know what? Savvy, you can be a mod too. You're just that cool of a guy. Rare Aram stream. Unheard of Aram stream, more like. I really haven't streamed for public consumption in a long, long time. I think the only times I've really streamed on my personal channel in the past were really more for like a handful of people in Discord than for actual having people on the internet watch me. Oh, we've got more first-time chats. Hello, Demon8370. Hello, Percival King. Hello, Duckman. Hello, Ralph Bat. Hello, Crump Leo. Saw you dicking around on this game. Was gonna ask how it was. I don't really know yet. So for context, all I have done in Arena so far is the mandatory tutorial that it puts you into immediately when you first log into the game. Like, it doesn't even send you to this menu. It's just like, hey man, here's how you play lands and creatures. I did stream on YouTube though. Yeah, that's true. I did a couple of my time at Sandrock streams in connection with being a VA in that game and doing a signing. Is this a chocolate milk and cereal kind of stream? I think we'll find the answer to that together, but I certainly hope so. I'm in a closet. I have just set up the little, the vocal booth that I used to use before I had a proper permanent one, just because my, I don't have a separate space to use as a studio for streaming, and my room on its own is pretty echoey. Not in a way that maybe you can necessarily tell if you're just a random person on the internet, but, I can hear the difference. I did a few streams in here, just sitting here normally, and then I tried it with this up, even with only 3 walls and no ceiling piece, and it made a significant difference in my audio quality, just how much you get the sound bouncing off walls and back into the mic. So it actually sounds pretty okay like this. If I do this more, I have ideas for stuff I can set up that will look less closet-like, ideally. Will this be your first time interacting with a lot of the new cards introduced since Arena was started? I think it'll be my first time interacting with virtually all of the cards in this. Yeah, here's how you kill Nicole Bolas. We're not even pretending he was cool now. Correct. Hello, funny blue man. Hello to you, water brat. Giant poster of Aram in the chair right behind me, maybe. Strive to make it more closet-like. I could put up some shelving back here. I could put some empty cardboard boxes behind me. Or over me. Yeah, so I did the tutorial. The only other thing I've done is I very, very briefly tried to get a grip on what the model for acquiring cards and playing in this game is like, and I have some idea now, but only what I've inferred from looking at it. I haven't really delved into anything. So the first thing I noticed is there's like dailies and XP that give you gold, which is one of 2 currencies. So that's a little like Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel like. It's not great, says Mythic Rain. I'm not expecting it to be great. Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel looks pretty abusive in how much money they want you to spend on it. So there's some stuff I can do that can get me packs. And if I look at... Was that in profile? There was something that had my like, EXP progression. Mastery, probably. Yeah. Oh, no, that's just for this specific one. Right. So you can see they've got a similar thing here, it looks like, where there's a track of rewards you can earn for Duskmourn, the new set they just released. I don't know if this is just all experience you earn, or if you have to be, like, playing Duskmourn-specific events to get experience for this bar, but, like, similar to other games I've seen, they have the track for normies who aren't paying money, with lesser rewards and many empty spaces, and 48 is the last reward on that. After that, you get nothing. And then they have the track for people who give them some money, which has a bunch of extra stuff and never caps out. At the very end of all of it, you still are earning something for each level up beyond that point. Yeah, it's Battle Pass. It is much worse than Master Duel's track. Okay, the Master Duel's track isn't great to begin with, so that's troubling. You can play an event called Jump In. Those give you 40 free cards. Yeah, I think I found that from the events menu. I was gonna look at that. What is the conversion rate on gems to money? So $5 is 750 gems. So it's 150 gems per dollar is the baseline, and then it looks like if you buy more, they give you a little bit more. But my goal with games like this is generally just to get what I can get without paying any money, unless I have put in enough hours to the game and decide I like it enough that I actively want to reward the developers. Like way back in the day when I played League of Legends, I did not spend any money for years, and then eventually I bought $100 worth of Riot points just because I was like, you know what? I have like thousands of games. I don't mind giving them some money for the amount of time I've sunk into this game, the amount of entertainment I've gotten. Sorry, I was looking at the thing. I have not been looking at chat very closely. Let me scroll back a little bit. We're still talking about the closet. Put up little things like fake shelving or cardboard box. I do have ideas for something I could do for like backdrops. Assuming I stick with just real webcam. I know all the kids these days are all in on VTubing, and it does have advantages. It would be nice to not have to worry about background, lighting, many other things. But I kind of think I'm just gonna start with this. And we'll see if I ever stream again after this. Play the game forever. Not having the infinite bitch reward for if you did everything for free people is very upsetting. Yeah, I do wish they gave you something for infinite grinding without giving them money. I've only ever heard bad things about this program, says Duckman. I think I've mostly heard negative as well. The Steam reviews are mixed, which I assume most of the negative reviews are probably not like bugs or anything. They're probably people who think that the monetization is predatory or that there are other fundamental problems with how they're handling the game, beyond just what the application actually does. Master Duel's monetization is probably the best of all the simulators, which is a damning condemnation. Yep, that would be correct. We'll see if I come to agree with that. Not that I played enough Master Duel to really have a basis of comparison. I played a little bit of Master Duel, and even had enough stuff out of the gate to build a, like, reasonably competent deck, and quickly decided that I was having no fun because it felt bad losing and it felt bad winning, because modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Is very, your goal is to strangle your opponent in the crib and make sure they don't get to actually do anything. So I felt bad every time I won. And I also felt bad when the same was done to me. So I was like, this is just not a game I'm gonna enjoy, regardless of what, like, the card acquisition and monetization is like. Best way to get gems is to draft. As long as you have a less than 50% win rate, it's almost infinite. Interesting. Hang on. So I looked at a few of the options for play.
Doing some exploring? This is a great place for it. Alchemy mixes things up. Like Standard, it features the latest sets.
Let's listen to the fairy real quick. Oh no, that's all she had to say. Okay. Why did it put me here? I thought before I was looking at, like, limited was what it kicked me into automatically. Okay. I will look at this in a second, because what I was trying to look at was... maybe if I just... Okay, yeah. So, okay, events is what I want. Right, so I was looking at limited play, which is probably the main thing I'm interested in, because that will just, depending on what it costs to play in limited events, that could really cut out a lot of the bullshit around, I'm not interested really in owning a purely digital collection of cards the way I would be in owning a physical one. So I don't really want to invest in doing proper constructed on here ever, in all likelihood. So I was looking at limited events to start with. There's the jump-in event that someone mentioned, and then it appeared... I don't know why this is a distinction, but... so some of the drafts... Okay, so this costs 1,500 and 10,000. Some of them, like, you can pay for with gold, and some of them you can't, or something like that. Sealed, you can't pay for with gold. I don't know why the distinction between sealed and draft, because they're giving you relatively similar amounts of product. So, no on sealed, at least until I find a way to accrue gems other than giving them money. And then they had a couple different draft formats. So they have one that's more like a regular in-person tournament where you just play 3 rounds and you get prizes based on how many wins. And it looks like if you 3-0, you get one of these little, like, World Series of Poker things that you can use to play at, I guess, the event for big boys, which I'm not interested in pursuing, because I don't know these cards nearly well enough to think that I could 3-0 anything. And then they've got an alternative where, so that was traditional draft. Right, so there's Premier Draft, where instead you play as much as you want until you lose 3 times, I guess, or win 7 times. So you have to play a lot more to get the max rewards, so it takes a lot longer, but you can't as easily just bust out by dropping games and then, oh, okay, I guess you get nothing, eat shit. You get to keep accruing wins until you've lost 3 times, so you don't have to 3-0 to get 6 packs, you have to 7-2. You have to win 7 times before losing 3 times. So it's a little more forgiving, I guess, if you have the time and you just want to play more without getting knocked out. And it costs the same, but it costs 10 times the amount of gold they gave me to start off with. So I'm not jumping into any of those right away. Sorry, let me catch up with chat. Yeah, getting stuff without money is the more fun option, I agree, as long as there is an actual gameplay loop that makes it plausible. Let's see. Aram Best Flesh Tuber. I'm not sure how I feel about the term flesh tuber. It sounds very close to other things that suggest certain proclivities. Let's see. No money to buy physical deck. Arena is pretty good. Okay. I dropped Master Duel because Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! With Maxi. Yeah. I don't really have Maxi opinions of my own, but I watch a lot of Hard Leg Joe's content, and he has very firm opinions about Maxi that are not positive. I wish online card games was good. We'll see. One of my friends dropped 200 on this, and his main complaint is that it costs too much to be competitive, and the matchup system is flawed, to put lightly. Yeah, I have no idea what the matchmaking is like in this game. I don't even know if you do a draft. If you were doing this in person, you'd be drafting in a pod with 8 people total, like it says here, 7 other players, and playing exclusively within that pod of people. It's not even clear to me if that's how this works, because I don't know how many of these are running at the same time. There's no particular reason they'd have to do that, because that means you'd have to wait until all the other matches are done each round. Whereas if there's, 250 of these live, they could just kick you over to the next person who has the same record as you each time immediately, even if they're from another pod. But that's different from how drafting would work IRL, because then that kind of invalidates any hate drafting you might have done in the pod. So I'm curious about that. Scrolling. Tutorial creature, people reacting with hostility to the tutorial creature. I used to play Arena, but got annoyed when every deck I went against was hyper aggro mono red. I guess we'll see if I have the same experience. Jump in and draft is what gives you the cards the fastest. Yeah, I'll probably do the jump in to start with. Hello, old man. Thank you. And hello to you too, All-Lee Gladman. Beyond gold rank, it's a challenge. Yeah, I have no idea what the ranking system is. I think for fun, you should look at the rewards for ranked. Direct? No, that's for, like, playing a specific person. Is that different from the mastery rewards? Don't know. Is it a profile thing? Oh, maybe, yeah. So, like... Okay, so season ends in 21 hours. I better fucking get cracking. I see. Okay, so these are Master Duel-esque, I suppose, where they give you get stuff for every tier you rank up during a season, it appears. I mean, admittedly, I don't know how difficult each of these ranks is, but this looks, if these seasons are monthly, I think that's what Master Duel seasons are. This looks insulting. 2 packs and at gold, 2 packs and a 10th of the entry fee for 1 draft. Looks pretty fucking bleak, not gonna lie. Let's see. Is it possible to get soft locked in this game? I don't know what soft locked would mean here exactly. Like, no currency to enter events and no events to enter to earn currency. Don't know yet. Maybe someone in chat can answer that. Quick Draft is the cheapest for gold. Premier is more expensive, but has better payout at middling win rate. Yeah, that's sort of what I'm did they cost different? I thought, shit. Home. Yeah. Quick is... Okay, so traditional draft is 1,500 or 10,000. And Premier Draft is also 1,500 or 10,000. It looks to me like they cost the same. It's just, are you hot shit and you're confident you can 3-0 and you just want to grind through events as fast as possible to get packs and other rewards? Because if so, you would definitely want to do the traditional ones. Does traditional... What do you get for 2-1ing a traditional draft? Does that give you enough to go again? 1,000 gems and 3 packs, so no. You have to 3-0. to get 2,500, that's pretty good. I suppose if you're 3-0ing half the time and 2-1ing half the time, that's enough to sustain this forever. But if you're 1-2ing, you're getting, like, no gems back. So it seems like more of a risk-reward thing and how many games you want to have to play to earn those rewards. Haven't done any draft on Arena. I stick to Standard and Brawl. Okay. Did you open all the packs they give you when you make a new account? They thrust things in my direction. I don't have any packs, per se, set to be opened. They gave me all this shit, so it looks like they gave me a bunch of pre-cons. I haven't actually looked at these yet. Oh, play more blue color to fully unlock or edit this deck. So I, like, provisionally have some of these, I guess. Hang on. Okay, so if I hover over this, play more, ba-da-ba-da-ba. That I just have. Okay, so that's black color challenge. The color challenges were something I was also considering starting with. Because they give me these. Starter decks. Do not count against your deck limit. Okay, so I don't know if I own these cards exactly, or if it's just like, these are pre-cons you can use freely that don't have any effect on your collection one way or the other. Quick drafts are the cheapest to do. Hard leg is correct, ban Max C. First time chatter. It's a good use of a message. I'm here for it. The drafts are completely separate from the games and don't follow ELO. Then they throw you in the ranked queue. Oh, okay. So I think that's answering my question from before. So when you draft, you are not actually drafting in your pod. You are drafting, and then you are being scattered to the wind to play other people who could have been from any draft pod. Okay. That's more practical, probably, for trying to make this game fluid and keep people from having to sit there the way they might if they were attending a tournament in person. Does make me a little sad that you can't hate draft as effectively. Or, I guess, you can't hate draft at all. You're not denying cards to people you're actually going to play against in most cases. Let's see. There's no point in going beyond Platinum. Didn't really get into MTG until I started watching Gathering Cards, so I can't say anything. Aw, I'm kind of excited that you got into it because of that. I say old man, but I might be older. I'm a middle-aged man. Back when I played, I would usually just get up to Platinum and stop there, because that's when people started actually playing good decks. I love this because this is exactly what I do when I start up a free-to-play game. Just judge the monetization and break it down. Honestly, I feel like that's just part of... If you're gonna do a free-to-play game, obviously it matters whether you enjoy the core gameplay. And so getting into it quickly and seeing, like, do I even like the time I'm spending on this is the most important thing. But there really is, like, if it passes that first test of, like, yes, this is fun enough that I'd be interested in spending time on this, you gotta really put in the research time. I'm realizing there's a problem with my setup. I'm gesticulating all the time, and you can't see my hands, because they are too low and too far over here. I'm gonna have to... That's important. That's important to me. Gonna have to consider reconfiguring the camera, because you have to be able to see what's going on down here. But yeah, you really have to, because if you do your 30 minutes of research and it's like, this will just become frustrating if I'm not willing to spend money on it, then save yourself the time. Unless the core gameplay is so good you don't care, you could advance not at all and enjoy it. Save yourself the time. There are promo codes you can use for more packs, a secret deck list / deck name that'll unlock 5,000 XP. Audley Gladman says, well, I'm interested in that. If those are just... If those promo codes are just out there that they've, released as like, hey, if you happen to see this promo, get some free shit. I'd love if you could drop a link or share that here. Pre-made decks are pretty good. Okay. The black, red, and blue, green are really good. Okay, I'll keep that in mind if I do... I don't know if there's a mode where you're just playing precons against precons, but that's probably some of the only constructed I'm going to be interested in playing. I don't want to get into actual constructed anytime soon. Not with no collection. Black, red, and blue, green. I'll keep that in mind. The starter deck event is nice too, since you can't get owned by the 50 rare decks. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Okay, so it sounds like that's kind of what I had in mind. I usually play Brawl because I can win with my bad decks. I don't know what Brawl is, but I will look out for it. Gonna get myself some Aptly juice. I hope you enjoy. We can see your shoulders doing a jiggle. That's pretty good, but it's not the same. It feels so odd seeing Tom talk when, for all the years, not having seen it. Yeah, I get that. At least you're still hearing me over a microphone. The first time I met online acquaintances, who would it have been? I went to Anime Midwest in 2015, was the first time I met Jello and Will in person. And Jello has a physical presence that is very much not how I imagine him from just his online presence. So while I wouldn't exactly say he sounds different in person, he comes across very different in person. Because he is a giant. And he doesn't really sound like it the way, like, Will does, because Will's got his very deep voice anyway. So, yeah, no, it is weird when there's a physicality that was absent before. Had a lot of fun playing Jumpstart. Brawl is basically 1v1 Commander. Okay. I'll keep that in mind. I forgot no links. Oh, yeah, sorry, my bad. I did put in the only thing I have Stream Elements bot doing is shooting down links. Just because I haven't streamed in a million years, and I didn't want to be like, "Hi guys, this is my first stream. I'm hoping everyone can be nice," and then like immediately some script running on a server is like, "We've noticed a new streamer. Deploy the spam bots to spam, porn and malware links immediately. Let's see if we can get them before they know what they're doing." How tall is Will? Will is, I think, 6'3". Jello is actually very slightly taller, but they're both enormous. Aram is more handsome than I was expecting. I don't know how to feel about that. I'm happy for the reality. I have a question mark at what your expectations were. If I had more money, I'd visit all y'all in America. I appreciate that, Savvy. I would probably not visit you in England because I've been to England twice and I don't like it very much, if I'm being honest. But I hope we do meet up someday on one side of the pond or the other. What parts of England? I don't remember the first trip very well because it was when I was 5. I remember we got fish and chips and ate it on a hill with a bunch of sheep. And that's like the only concrete memory I have of that trip, which was to visit my dad's mother, who he is from England, so his mother still lived in England and was at the time still alive. And she was kind of a bitch, so that was not a fun trip for me. And the second time was for my cousin's wedding in 2016? Yeah. And I stayed in a sleepy little village called Chelmsford, and it was exactly what I expected from rural England, in that it looked like it would be very difficult to stave off self-harm living there. It's like, here are our grey houses with stone and wood. And there's technology, but you can tell we've adapted it begrudgingly. And the sky is grey all the time, and it's drizzly and miserable. Here we are. Where Where do you input the codes? That's a good question. I should follow this link so that I can let everyone know if this is in fact a porn malware kind of deal. I hope so. No, it looks real. Okay. MTG Arena codes, September 2024 complete list. What have you got for me? Table of contents. Okay. Yeah, where do I enter these? I'm gonna guess.
Good to see you again.
Nah! Not great to see you, sorry. Store, maybe? Store seems like the most logical place. Yeah, redeem code. Okay. Code already redeemed. Okay. So either that's for one person or that code is too old. That one works. Okay. I got 3 packs of Dominaria. Neat. Let's see. How about this one? Play, bro! Okay, 3 packs of Brothers War. Let's see. Cosmetic codes. It says none currently. Experience codes. 5,000 experience and sleeves. Code not found. See more below. Oh, hang on. Yeah, it looks like that's supposed to work until February 6th, but it didn't for me. Most of the Murders at Karlov Manor codes have been deactivated, but this code will remain redeemable until the 6th. You can redeem this code to get da-ba-da-ba-da, but you have to do a little... Oh, this code is not redeemed in the MTGA store. First, copy this deck list. Okay. Open MTG Arena, go to your decks screen, and then import the deck from your clipboard. Was plus not what I wanted to do? Or do I import from this editor? Let's see. That's just game options. Change deck layout. Craft. Okay, so it's got a crafting system. Don't know how abusive that's gonna be. Master Duels is a bit stingy. I'm getting the impression that plus is not what I want to do if I then want to import. Edit deck. Favorite. Import. Okay. Deck. Imported deck. Support from clipboard. Okay. What do I do now? Import deck from clipboard. Find your most recently imported deck and rename it. The way is open. Okay. The way is open. Okay. You'll get a notification in your inbox immediately. Click claim to get your rewards. Why? Why did they do this? Why did they do it this way? I mean, cool. Make you work for it. Let's see. Card codes, none currently. Deck codes, none currently. It appears that is all that is on this one. But hey, thank you. I need to go back and chat and see who it was who brought that to my attention. That was... Coolvols dropped the link, and I think Ollie Goldman mentioned it originally. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Free money. Let's see. You need to go try Oxford, not London, though. Okay. In fairness, I haven't been to not rural England. I'm sure there are parts of the London metropolitan area and other parts of the UK in general that I would enjoy. It hasn't made good first and second impressions on me immediately. Let's see. Wet Otters. Can we add Scapegoat to our decks? Oh, a secret ARG for the... I guess that's thematic, yeah. That's fair. Okay. Was to train you to import. That makes a certain amount of sense. This is like Plastic Duck Game. It kind of is. That's very funny, actually. Do not go to London. I definitely misread that as do not go to Lebanon. What did I miss in the last 6 minutes? Don't worry, no Magic has been played yet. I'm beginning to wonder if any Magic will be played on this stream, or if this is just hangout on the loading page stream. Well, hey, I've got packs now, and I've seen no indication that packs are in any way fungible, like that you can do anything with these other than open them. So I could just go ahead and open these. Can anyone in chat who knows this game better confirm? You can't just be like, hey, I have 3 packs of Dominaria. I want to draft Dominaria, right? Because like some real card shops actually do let you, if you just have extra product, you can just be like, here's my, $5 entry fee, but I've got packs already, so you don't have to pay for them at whatever rate the store is selling them at. Do you not get a long line of mailbox packs? I guess not. Oh, you know what I should have gotten, though? Yeah! I leveled up in here because of that free 5,000 experience. Current level, and that was only level 1, apparently. I'm not unlocking the Mastery Pass at this time, sorry. No, I'm just trying to see how much experience do I need for this. You'd think that would be like a very basic thing to show on this track. Because it gave me 3 packs and an eyeball, so I thought I had gone like all the way up to level 6. They're like 100 each? Oh, okay. Well, if they're 100 each, I should... Oh! See, this is where you need to be able to see me gesticulating, because why did it update mid-screen? Why was it not already this when I came in and it gave me a bunch of rewards? It knew it had given me that. Eventual consistency. Had enough of that at AWS. Okay. Alright, so I got my packs and eyeball there. The only reason he wouldn't is because it's fresh, which feels bad, given the codes for sets were eternal. Quantum mechanics bullshit. The free mailbox packs. I don't know what those are. I looked through all my mail. They have announcements dating back to 2022, which for some reason they deliver to you as if they were new announcements right away. I don't think that gave me anything, just clicking through all of those, though. Although, these have... Hang on. Now that I'm thinking about it, a lot of these have what I would imagine is the symbol for an attachment. Oh! Wow, I definitely just clicked through all of these and did not even process what they were showing me, that there was a big, shiny claim button there. Wow, 2 plains and 2 islands? You shouldn't have. More? Holy fuck! 2 of every basic land? God dang. Oh, no Phyrexian basic lands, I see. Okay, so I guess sometimes, I guess that makes sense, because they're not doing blocks anymore, because back in the day, they would do basic lands with the first set of a new block, but now I guess they just do them with some sets and not with others. Wilds of Eldraine has basics. Woe be upon us. Outlaws of Thunder Junction has basics. Why did it only give me 1 island and 1 swamp and 2 forests? That's a little weird. Khans of Tarkir. This is the last physical pre-release I went to, was Khans of Tarkir back in 2014. And it was the first one I had been to in years. The habit did not catch. There's been a murder! Why is this dated today? I guess because I received it today, alright. Like, I think that murder happened a while ago, friend. I also think there were more than one, if the name of the set was to be believed. Oh, good. Modern Horizons. A product I've never opened, but I despise the idea of. That's a cold case by now. Bloomborough. Alchemy. I don't know what alchemy means yet. I guess it's the mashing together two precons thing, but I don't understand why why are there packs for it then? I'm sure I will understand in time. Alchemy, Karlov Manor. Okay. And since, I mean, Karlov Manor is a real set, and so is Bloomburrow, so I guess Alchemy is digital only. Alchemy is essentially client-only cards with mechanics that are best done digitally. Okay. That's kind of an interesting idea. They have Assassin's Creed cards. Yeah, I guess that's out in physical, but not on this yet, because I haven't seen any reference to it in the client. Let's see. There's more to explore. Wow! Okay, so we got some Ixalan Alchemy. This is a real set. March of the Machine with, I guess, maybe sometimes they give you 4 random basics instead of 2 of each. Okay, I remember that set, or hearing about it. Okay, Lord of the Rings. As the IP crossovers go, I guess this is one of the less... This is one of the better fitting and thus less annoying ones, I suppose. Anyone who watches Gathering Cards has heard me complain either auditorily or by text in the Discord about not really liking that direction of product. Ooh, 3 of every basic land. From Innistrad. Oh, that's right. They do these, I guess they do these remasters of not really old sets as far as I'm concerned, but older sets. If the stream is just you reacting to cards, I'll still be happy. That's... I did one stream of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, and it was mostly me reacting to cards. I was like, well, I got these initial gems. Let me buy... probably it was just 10 of the, the master packs, the packs that have, like, everything. And I was opening card by card and reading every card, because I had never seen basically any of them. And I was doing that for like 45 minutes to get through 10 packs of cards, because I would talk about every single one. And yeah, no, it weirdly was it was weirdly captivating to the right audience for some reason. If we play Gathering Cards long enough, you can play with the Fortnite reskin cards. Can we remaster masks? Truly, the product that the least humans in the world are asking for. There's a bot you can fight in case you want to play Magic. I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, I'll probably either do the jump in or the color challenges. Curious to see what you think of the power creep in recent years. I've only seen a handful of cards scattered across the various sets of the past several years. But my impression is that the power creep is at a level that's gonna make my head spin. It's also, there's just kind of a general thing also, which is that for the first, I'd say close to the first 15 years of Magic the Gathering, on average, the average removal spell was better than the average creature. At first, really extremely, and then they got closer. But I stopped playing around the time where the creatures were kind of finally catching up. And my understanding is that it's completely the opposite now. That creatures are amazing, and removal mostly can't keep up with them. And that is not necessarily... I don't think that's a worse design. I think arguably that's probably a better design for the game, because that encourages people to be more proactive and less reactive. But that's going to be very hard to wrap my head around. You know, those who watch Gathering Cards, you know I'm a control player at heart. And so there's something, it's like a nice warm blanket wrapped around me, knowing that removal is more powerful, and that my opponent can play whatever they want, and I can still just play Wrath of God and be fine. Creatures are better, but most spells are kind of similar in power. Alright, let's continue with this. Let's get our Alchemy Thunder Junction. Let's get Whichever Eldraine this is, Wilds or the old one, probably Wilds of Eldraine. I think that's the newer one. 3 packs of Duskmourn and some basic lands. I'm not sure why that's at the bottom of my inbox. I have to imagine that's one of the newer ones that they've sent out. March of the Machines, the Aftermath. I don't know if that's a real set or a fakey made-up one that exists only in this game, but whatever. Explorer Anthology 2. The basic Wasteland for you here. Okay. A basic land that just taps for colorless. I imagine there must be a reason for that to exist. The Brothers' War rages on, and that means I get 6 packs of Alchemy Brothers' War. Okay, I think that's... I've cleaned out my mailbox. Aftermath was real derogatory. Isn't that the set the Pinkertons got sent to that one dude's house for? Maybe? I remember that happening. I don't remember what set it was over. Eldrazi like colorless specifically. They tend to need specifically colorless and not generic. Okay. I only have the faintest notion of the Eldrazi cards because Zendikar, the original Zendikar block was almost exactly the time when I stopped playing Magic. Not because I had any problem with Zendikar per se, or Scars of Mirrodin, which I think was the last set I ever drafted in person. But because I got into World of Warcraft and that was competing for the same time. And then by the time I was no longer really playing World of Warcraft, I was out of college and no longer really had... I no longer had local, real-life people to play the game with regularly, which was one of the big things that kept me going to events when I was playing in high school and college. So, anyway, point is, I've seen Rise of the Eldrazi, the OG Eldrazi set, but nothing they've done with them after that. Meanwhile, Zendikar was Savvy's first real set after M10. Okay, that's fun. We passed the baton there. Alright, well, I've cleaned out the old mailbox. I'm glad someone mentioned that. I probably would have been like, alright, well, I've marked all as red. I don't need to look at these ever again, and then they would have gotten deleted. Alright, well, now we've got a fuck-zillion random things to open. And you know what? I feel like... part of me is like, surely I should play some game on this stream. But I kind of do feel like... I feel like the guy going in a YouTube thumbnail in me would say the content farm route, though, is the opening stream where we just open cards. So you know what? Sure. Let's leave like the real packs for last. I don't know how these are sorted, if they are just the order I acquired them, if they're release order or what. But I'm kind of getting the impression from my recollection of when these things came out that the new stuff is far at the left. Yeah, because some of these Duskmourn packs were lower down in the list, but they're still far on the left here, so I think... if we want to save the most relevant stuff for last, let's start at the right. Let's open some Alchemy Dominaria, I guess. We come to you for your opinions and your dulcet tones. I appreciate that. How many people are here anyway? Out of curiosity. Can I see that in OBS? Or do I have to look at the Twitch website? My head's kind of swimming because I'm trying a bunch of new shit. Like I just set up stream elements and stuff the other day. And so I don't really know where all the information is right now. Okay, I can see my stream there. Yes, that's nice. How many people? 42 viewers! Wow. Alright, cool. I'm genuinely quite surprised, but welcome everyone. And yeah, you know what? Without further ado, let's go ahead and crack some fucking packs. Okay, so these alchemy packs have 8 cards, I guess? I wonder if that's true of all packs, or if that's an alchemy-specific thing. God, if they're selling packs for real money and those packs are only like 8 cards, that'd be absurd. Now, because the drafts still say that you get 45 cards, so I'm going to assume non-alchemy packs still have 15 cards in them. All right. Whenever a creature you control dies, scry 1. All right, so the very first card I'm seeing is already, I'm like, wow, that's a really good card. This random common. And this probably is nothing anyone would bother playing nowadays. But, oh. Uh-oh. What's happening? I see 3 deleted messages all of a sudden. And someone's banned. No, 3 people are banned. Ha! I got 3 best viewers on friend Cass site comments. We saw a couple of those on Surprise Round the other day. I feel very vindicated. Part of me thought I was being paranoid, bothering to set up stream elements just to auto-delete links. But no, that's exactly what I thought was gonna happen. Exactly. I got them. I ambushed them and took them out. That's honestly very gratifying to see. And I already have 2 mods mercilessly gunning them down in the street. I'm like a real streamer now. Wow. Wowie zowie. Anyway, what was I saying? Right. So, again, I'll make mention of this. And I think most of the people, I recognized most of the names that I've seen in here, but not all of them. So I do want to quickly shout out. So I do a weekly-ish, when it doesn't run every week, but when it runs, it's always at the same day of week and time. Magic the Gathering progression series with a couple friends, including Eternal Savvy, who's in chat right now, over on twitch.tv/SurpriseRoundRPG. That runs at 6 p.m. Eastern on Fridays. And the reason I mention that now is because even though I played up through about, like... Oh, likely ban evader restricted, and they're posting a link. Dead. The reason I bring that up now is because even though I have played up through, like I said, the last thing I ever drafted IRL was Scars of Mirrodin. So I played up through, you know, like 2010, which is not that recent now, but, you know, I've played that far in history, but right now we've been doing this progression series. We just got to Mirrodin block. Tomorrow's session is going to be Darksteel. And so my mindset has very much migrated back in time to adjust my expectations to what cards should be like power level wise in that context. And you look at, like, this random chuckle fuck common who's just a guy. I'm sure he was never played in any meaningful constructed capacity. But I look at this and I'm like, whoa, a 2/2 for 2 with a significant ability that triggers when a creature you control dies? That's the best card I've ever seen! So expect a lot of me being like, wow, it's so broken once I go through this. And you guys will be like, he doesn't understand how this game works, does he? This seems fine. This reminds me of Probe from Invasion, which doesn't plus you as much, but does make an opponent discard 2 cards instead of each opponent discarding 1. Yeah, like, that's probably like a... I was about to say, yeah, that's a card you'd play in Limited or something. Is Alchemy involved in Limited on here at all? Do you ever use these in Limited, or is it only a kind of weirdo side constructed format that's like, evil mirror universe, MTG Arena only standard. Someone I'm sure can answer that for me. Negate, that one I remember. That's a reprint. Let's see. The power has croppened. Yeah. There are alchemy pack drafts for sets. Okay, cool. Wandering Treefolk, 2/3 vigilance for 2. See, right there, I'm like, oh well, yeah, that's a good card already. You just delete the rest of the text. I'd play a 2/3 vigilance for 2. What the fuck are you talking about? Domain, 7 and a green. Seek a creature card. Does that mean... Oh, to seek a card. Put one at random from your library into... I see. Alright, so this is the famed mechanics that are easier to resolve digitally. That would be a massive pain in the ass to do if you were playing with physical cards. Okay. Okay, yeah. No, that's neat. That's neat. And that just activates and has no tap and no... yeah. I mean, I suppose... If you get full domain, that still costs 3, so yeah, spamming that's not super easy, but... Shit, dude. I'd play that. Destroy target artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying. That's a lot better than all the cards they printed that are just destroy creature with flying, that they were giving green for many... You were lucky to get destroy creature with flying on a green card. Usually it was some stupid bullshit like... Deal a damage to a creature without flying, or destroy a tapped creature with flying, or target creature with flying loses flying temporarily. And it's like, come on, guys. Come on. Give green anything. So it's, alright, that's nice to see. I like cards that are, like, decent because of versatility more than anything else. Haunting Figment, 2/1 Vigilance, can't be blocked as long as you've cast an instant or sorcery. Okay, that's another, like, yeah, this is for limited, but sure, yeah, that's a perfectly playable card. Vesuvan Mist. Instant. Return a non-token, non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Can't bounce token. Lame. That's the whole point. If this spell was kicked, Conjure is added to the game. Okay, so make a token-ish of that, a duplicate of that card. Oh, into your hand. Oh, I see. Okay, not a token, because it couldn't be in your hand. All right, yeah, again, digital only. That makes sense. That's pretty neat. Yeah, I like that. Can spend any kind of mana. Yeah, like they've printed cards that do stuff a little like this in the game that I'm aware of, but this is much more fun. Stealing. Commons in Alchemy are printed cards from the... Oh, okay, so the commons are all real, and then when you get to... these. I guess that makes sense, because the 2 uncommons are the 2 that had the mechanics that would be a pain in the ass to do for real. Let's see what our rare is. Gitu Ember Coiler. Prowess. Right, when you cast a non-creature, pump for 1. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, you may discard a card. If you do, seek a card with greater mana value and exile it. Until the end of your next turn, you may play the exiled card. Discard any card. If you do, seek a card with greater... Oh, right. I keep forgetting that's at random, because seek makes it sound purposeful. Seek always makes me think, oh, you search a card, but no, you explicitly don't. That being said, yeah, I would love to have a creature that once per turn lets me discard a land to get something that's not a land. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Discard a land, find more burn spells in my red aggro deck. Yes, please. All right, we've made it through 1 8-card pack. Let's continue. Oh? What the fuck was that shit? What was that? Why did that do a thing? What happened? What happened? I don't know. I've got 3 ticks on a 6-tick clock of gold card. And something... That's the crafting system. Okay, I'll have to investigate that later. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, an hour in, and he got through 1 pack. Wild cards. Once you get one, you can make any card of the wild card's rarity. Okay, neat. Those counters go up as you open packs and give you wild cards you can turn into any card you want of the same or lesser rarity. Okay. All right. Depending on, and I see I've got uncommon and rare, I can't help but notice there is not one for mythic rare. But I'll worry about that later. Elfheim Worm. He had big bungus. Vigilance Trample. 5/4 for 5. Yeah, that's a creature. That's a creature that would be amazingly good at the point we're at in Prague, and I'm sure is fucking nothing in the modern game. I mean, it wouldn't have been played and constructed even when I was playing the game, because it's just a bungus for 5, but still. That's a good limited bungus. As this creature attacks, you may tap a non-attacking creature you control without summoning sickness. Oh, okay, so you can... Oh my god! They remade banding, kind of, not really, but... That's really funny. That's really funny. You may tap a Yeah, okay, so you can just attack effectively with another creature and staple its power onto this guy instead of attacking with them separately. Very funny. Banding 2! It's Banalish. Yeah, that makes sense. It goes back and forth between rare and mythic, says Astarosa. Okay. Alright. Okay. Alright. Respect it. Theoretically shouldn't matter unless I really decide I actually want to invest my energies in constructed, but... Put a random land card from your library into your graveyard. Neat. Yeah, again, I look at this and I'm just like, 3/2 for 2? That's really good! I don't need this other text, get it out of here! Lightning Strike, yeah, I vaguely recollect that this is kind of the compromise they eventually settled on after years of being like, should we reprint Lightning Bolt or should we reprint Shock? And going back and forth repeatedly. This feels like the right place for it. Another one of those, another one of these. What's our rare? Juggernaut Peddler. Does he just make Juggernauts? Does he just spawn them? Yeah, he does. When he enters... That's going to take a while to get used to. God, I was still getting used to enters the battlefield. When I think of this, I still say comes into play. Target player reveals all non-land cards in their hand. You choose one of them. They exile... Oh, he replaces something with a Juggernaut. That's why he's in white-black. Ha! That's very funny. Very funny indeed. You come into play. I sure do. Alright, Tattered Apparition. Okay, yeah. That's not great, but, like, it's better than most of the shades they printed in the early game. Salvaged Mana Worker. Okay, he filters a mana and doesn't have to tap to do it. He's got a very prominent metal... I suppose you might call it a cod piece. I'm tempted to call it a crotch plate, but he's squatting. He's Atlas holding up the earth, and he is thrusting to get the job done, to get his... Yeah, the pelvis, I suppose that's reasonable. Should you tap that? Probably not. Ass piece based on that effect. Maybe, yeah. Well, not so much based on the effect, based on his stats. Barkweave Crusher Enlist. Okay, it's that again. Yep, another one of these. I wonder if this is a small... If the alchemy specific parts of this are a small number of cards, or if I just have weird luck that I've opened one of these in every pack. Banalish Sleeper. Oh, okay. Funny. Yeah. Yeah. I suppose he's like vaguely Orzhov flavored. Eerie Soul Tender, mill 3 cards. Exile it from your graveyard, return another target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Okay. A very expensive Raise Dead. I do like my value cards. I kind of like them when I can use them over and over instead of once. Whatever, you're fine, buddy. I'm probably not going to play you, but you should be proud of what you've accomplished. Goblin Morale Sergeant. Okay, haste and enlist. Whenever he enlists a non-token creature, you may duplicate that creature. Oh, conjure a duplicate into the top 5 cards of your library at random. Wow, yeah. Talk about effects that would be just impossible to do in paper. The duplicate perpetually gets +1/+0 and gains haste, right? So he can affect cards that haven't even entered play yet because you're in a computer game. You can just do that. Rezug, the Bone Cobbler! 1/3 for 2. Target creature card in your graveyard perpetually becomes an artifact. You may cast that card this turn. It loses all other card types, so it becomes no longer a creature. That's funny. That's deeply funny. Oh, Qvols is heading off for D&D. Enjoy, Qvols. Thank you for giving me all these free codes. He makes trinkets out of you. Yeah, that's funny. It'd be funny with this guy. Oh, no, you can't kick it when you're putting it into play from another zone, so you can't just put him in and then innocent blood everyone and send him back to the graveyard and then just do that every turn. That'd be a funny interaction otherwise. All right. That's our alchemy, whatever the fuck that was. Was that Brothers War? No, this is Brothers War. I don't remember what that was already. Dominaria. It was Dominaria, I believe. Yeah. All right. Alchemy Brothers War. Let's go. We've got Tomacool Scrapsmith. I guess Tomacool's like a place or a people, but Tomacool Scrapsmith just kind of sounds like a character's name in like D&D-ville. 2/1 for 3. When he enters milled 3 cards, you may put an artifact card from among the cards milled this way into your hand, and if you don't, put a +1/+1 counter on it. So you can have a 3/2 for 3, or you can have a 2/1 and get a replacement card. Yeah, that's not bad. That's nice, like keeping card advantage and board presence for like a limited context, probably. 2/2 Vigilance for 2. When an artifact you control enters, he gets okay. Okay. All right. I'd play that in Mirrodin. Lonely End. An instant for 2. Target creature gets -3/-3, or remove 3 loyalty counters from a planeswalker. If you weren't the starting player, you gain 3 life. I don't think that really even needs to be in an alchemy card. It's pretty easy to know who played first when you're playing the real game. The paper game. But, okay. Okay. I don't know what this is. Oh, okay. That's just, I see. So that can just be in pack slots? Did I get a whole one for this? Or is that what gives me a fragment? I guess we'll see. Curate. Look at the top 2, put any number of them into your graveyard, and the rest go back. Okay, so it's basically scry, but it lets you mill instead of putting to the bottom, which is usually better. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's good for what it does. It would have to cost 1 mana to play with the boys like Ponder and company, but still quite nice. Desynchronize. Non-land permanence owner puts it on the bottom. Interesting. I wonder if that's just an all-up wording change, because I would have expected this to just say, put target non-land permanent on the bottom. I guess, I mean, technically the owner's going to be one doing the physical action of putting it on the top or bottom of their library. Oh, it's because they make the choice. Okay. I see. That makes sense. And then scry 2. Okay, that's a little expensive, but that's good for, again, I haven't seen any cards yet that I'm like, that sucks. The worst I've seen of anything, I've been like, yeah, I'd play that in limited. Search the top 1/3 of your library, round it up. Assemble the team. Very silly. Put that card in your hand and shuffle. Yeah. You could almost resolve that in Paper Magic. It would still be kind of obnoxious. You'd have to count your cards, and it'd take a little while. Pendragon Besieged. Enchantamento. At the beginning of your end step, choose a creature with the least toughness among creatures your opponent's controls. It perpetually gets -1/-1. That's... I was about to say that's fine. Why doesn't this just put a -1/-1 counter? Why does this have to be alchemy? I'm assuming this means it stays in Smolland even if it like goes into their hand or deck and comes back later, since I have to imagine, yeah, perpetual effects are not removed from cards that change zones. Okay, well, I was about to say, I have to imagine that perpetual means, well, it's just right there. I do have to imagine it. I suppose I don't have to because it is already there. But I would imagine it. Oh, hey, Drop of Honey. Kind of. I love Drop of Honey. Let's see. This card tutors for show and tell in Eternal formats, which is always funny. Suppose so. Alright, Brothers War. Lay another hot beat on me. Disenchant. This card's garbage. Never played. Melt Through. It's a shock that... Oh, okay. Yeah. That's very fun. Very fun. Counter target artifact or creature spell, unless its controller pays 4. Alright, alright. A common wild card. An Argivian Welcome. Destroy target creature up to 1 target power, creature with power 4 or greater. Choose a non-land card in your hand that perpetually gains flash. Okay, interesting. And for some reason, we have 2 rares in this, it appears. Argothian Uprooting. 2+1/+1 counters on each of X target lands you control. They become 0/0 creatures with reach, haste, and when this creature leaves the battlefield, replace it with a forest. That's funny. Yeah. That's a clever way to make it so you don't absolutely dick yourself by turning a bunch of your lands into 2/2 creatures and then getting, like, Pyroclasm. What the fuck? That's not what cards in this game look like! What are you doing? Why is it brown? Why is the font all fucky? It's just sitting, it's not in the box. It's just sitting there. But the thing here's got all this weird, it's got this fucking stained glass mosaic window Photoshop filter ass background. What are they trying to pull? They think I don't know what a magic card looks like? I'll break the fucking kneecaps. Taps for 1 mana of any color and makes lands you control tap for 1 mana of any color. That's neat. I like that. You can't just ask them why they're brown. Aeronaut's Wings. Equipped creature gets +1/+0 and has flying. Why not just reprint Nurok Hover Sail? Why would you make another card that equips and gives flying? We only need 1 in this game. Just like we only need 1 card that draws cards and 1 card that deals damage. That's that guy. I've already seen him. Sylvan Smite. +1/+, if you weren't the starting player, then that creature deals damage. Oh, okay, cool. I'm curious why they made starting player an alchemy thing, and it's not in... Is that in the, if they bothered putting it on these alchemy only ones, I have to imagine it's not in the real, the paper game. But if you weren't the starting player or were the starting player feels very resolvable in paper Magic. Interesting. Rock Hunter. 3/1 reach, 4/2. Not bad. Gix's Caress. Okay, so it's Distress, and you create a little guy who taps for a colorless that can only be spent on artifacts. That's fun. Yeah, they, I guess they've got several of these now, don't they? Just standard default types of tokens that are not creatures, like foods and treasures and these. And I can never, and they've clearly been around for long enough that they don't bother listing on cards what they do anymore. But I don't know what they do offhand usually. I have to be reminded. So those cards can be very difficult for me to evaluate sometimes. Another one of those. We got a rare, Norn's Disassembly. Sacrifice a historic permanent. Seek a historic card. Artifacts, legendaries, and sagas are historic. Interesting. Okay. I wonder if that's in the main game or if that's alchemy only. And then Seek. Yep. And Unwinding Clock. It's Seedborn Muse, but only for artifacts. Okay. I guess that thematically makes sense since you've got artifacts tapping for mana. So it's kind of like getting to untap your lands if you're playing it in a deck like that. Alright, alright. A lot of the explanation text is moved to the little black bubbles in Arena. That's smart. That's taking advantage of the medium. Let's see. Gemstone Caverns is the only reference to starting player outside Alchemy. Oh, yeah! I remember that card vaguely. Is that the one that, like, it always taps for colorless, but it taps for 1 mana of any color, but only if you didn't go first or something? I have to look this up on Gatherer now, or I'm gonna... Legendary land, if it's in your opening hand and you're not the starting player, right, okay. Yeah, I remember this. Yeah, this was in Time Spiral originally. Okay, neat. Unleash Shell. Oh, you with your card name puns. 5 damage to start creature or planeswalker, and 2 damage to that permanent's controller. That guy again, melt through again. Oh, they reprinted Chromatic Star here. That's nice. I liked that they finally settled on this as the way they wanted to do this kind of effect. Bonus sheet. What'd that mean? Anyone in chat able to tell me what that prompt means? Let's see. Blitz Automaton. A 7 mana 6/4 with haste. Prototype. You may cast the spell with different everything except for abilities and types. Okay, so you can cast it as a red 3/2. Okay, that's an interesting way to do artifacts with color sympathy. Piece it together, starting Intensity 1. Draw a card. If its intensity is 4, instead Time Walk. Ha! Ha 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 ha! Ah, funny. Very funny. Yeah, I would play this. I would play a deck around this. That's... yeah. I mean, because it's a 1 mana cantrip, and it's in blue, it's in the right color already. This seems pretty exploitable. Because you're never going to be like, fuck, I drew Piece It Together too early or something. Or, oh, fuck, it's turn 8 and I drew Piece It Together, but it's not at intensity 4, so it doesn't do anything because you can just cantrip to the next card. Yeah, I like this guy. I like this guy. Richelieu, Headmaster. At the beginning of your end step, you may pay 1. When you do, target artifact card in your graveyard perpetually gains. The spell costs 1 less to cast. If it's a creature or vehicle card, it perpetually gets +2/+2. Put it into your library, 2nd from the top. Yeah, that's pretty neat. I always forget that they eventually decided legendary creatures should actually be good. It took them a long time. They were like, nah, they should pretty much all blow shit, except for Lin Civi, who gets to be a constructed powerhouse. And then, I guess when they got to Kamigawa, they were like, well, shit, guys, if we're going to do a block about this, these cards have to, at least some of them, have to be good. And nowadays, they print them and they have, like, real stats and powerful abilities. It's not like it was. It's not like it was. Phalanx Vanguard. Ooh. Oh, I got a little guy. Oh. Another one of you. Oh. Gains reach, trample, hexproof, and indestructible. So it just... Please don't fuck with my guy. If I'm going to the effort of putting a +1/+1 counter on him, I really want him to not immediately get get fucking murked. Perilous Iteration. Oh, okay. Yeah. Put them into your hand, and then at the beginning of your next turn's end step, discard them. Okay, that's neat. Oh, just good old Millstone. Back at uncommon, which is probably where it should be, because, frankly, not a very exciting thing to open in your rare slot. That's Terramorphic Expanse again. I don't know why they didn't just call it Terramorphic Expanse, TBH, but whatever. I guess you can play 8 of them now. When he dies, create a tapped Power Stone token. Okay. Tanos Endures. Swords to Plowshares a guy. And... Oh, okay. No, you don't Swords to Plowshares a guy. You blink a guy. He gains at the beginning of your upkeep. So the upkeep of the person who controls it at the time it's exiled. I guess? Or would it be its owner? This card is exiled. Then you may put it onto the battlefield. No, I guess it would be its owner. Because changes in control, unless they're perpetual, don't persist when the card is not in play. Yeah, so I guess at the beginning of its owner's next upkeep, if this card is exiled, yeah. Okay, neat. It's a little like, Otherworldly Journey from back in Kamigawa days, but better. Mostly. Let's see. Nowadays, the standard for a legendary is good stats and a powerful ability that gives you value on a proc-by-proc basis that you can trigger multiple times on purpose. There do seem to be quite a few of those. At no more than 5 mana. Yeah. What do we got? Urza's Construction Drone. 3/3 for 3. Why, that's a trained Armadon, sir. That's a Cathodion. I would play that at rate. I could pop that off my Mishra's factory. When Urza's Construction Drone enters... Oh. Very funny. Very funny indeed. Put a copy of Urzatron into your deck. And when it attacks or dies, put one at random into your hand. That's... what a fun little design. I kind of love that. The fancy, or in this case, old frames are bonus sheet cards, which are actually not necessarily legal in the format. They're there to be shiny and or increase the supply. They're not necessarily legal in the format? That's very strange. They're not alchemy, though. It doesn't appear. So they were in real Brothers War packs. So they were printing cards in Brothers War packs that you couldn't play in, like, Standard at the time it was in Standard? Am I interpreting your statement correctly? And what would you do if you opened them in Limited, then? Could you play them in Limited? Surely. Surely. They started that back in Kaladesh. I fucking hate that. Ew. Ew! And hang on. Because, so... back in Time Spiral, they did the time-shifted cards, right? And I believe they replaced a common in the pack. I think there was... Or were there 16? Fuck me, I can't remember. Were there 16 cards per pack of Time Spiral? I don't remember. Or did they replace one of the common slots with the purple rarity? In any case, those were legal to play. I would not be happy opening a pack of a set that's supposed to be in Standard and finding cards that I can't play in Standard. I guess I've already been like, grumble, I don't like Modern Horizons, so I feel like I shouldn't be poo-pooing every way they have of trying to sneak in supply of older cards Well, that's not what Modern Horizons is, because they're just making new shit up that was never printed in a real set. But, like, fucking reprint the card, then. Just reprint the card. Make it legal. I will make it legal. Just do that. That's simpler. That's way simpler. And way less annoying to me if I'm buying packs. And then opening cards I can't use in the constructed format that I'm probably buying that pack with mine too. Anyway, Old Man Yells at Cloud. Unearth. It's a 1/1 for 1. Combat Courier. Sacrifice it to draw a card. Unearth. To... What do you do? Return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste. Exile it at the end of the next end step, or if it would leave. Okay. Bokeh. Bokeh. Confirm they go in the same spot as foils. Okay. Old Man Yells at Cards. Yeah, God, that's what I should have named this stream. If I was smart. Maybe the next one will be Old Man Yells at Card. 1/1 first strike. Exile it from your graveyard. Scry 2. That's not bad. Patch Plate Resolute. When this enters or leaves, you get a one-time boon. Boon is not a term that is explained by the side things. When you cast a creature spell, that creature enters with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. I'm going to assume a boon is like an emblem, which is also something they hadn't come up with by the time I mostly stopped playing the game. But I'm going to assume it's like an emblem that goes away after it has mattered once. So the next time you cast a creature spell, that creature enters with a +1/+1 counter. And he's a 3/3 for 3, and he unearths. Why is it showing me haste on the side? Does he have haste? Because it doesn't say haste in his box. But that's making me think he's supposed to have haste. Which would be weird. On a, well, not, I mean, I don't know. He's kind of, oh, it's because unearth gives you haste. Yeah, go, yeah. Okay. Speaking of haste, Swiftfoot Boots. Oh, Lightning Greaves. They knew you were too annoying to come back. Warlord's Elite. Tap to untap things you control. Okay. It's like Convoke, but less cumbersome. Tocasia's Onulet. Yeah! Love my boy Onulet. And it's when he leaves so that you can unearth it and get it again. You can't, or if it would leave the bat. Okay, so you can't unearth something and then cheekily bounce it back to your hand and replay it all over again. Nice Looney Tunes impression. On the bright side, Swiftfoot giving hexproof means it could go in an equipment deck. True. Yes. Yes, true. Hexproof is strictly better than Shroud, but Equip 0 is uniquely powerful in a way Equip 1 isn't. So I imagine they viewed this as fixed Lightning Greaves. Oh, even my air quotes aren't on screen. Fixed Lightning Greaves when they invented it. Yoshin Courier. You're a 2/2 flying for 2. When you attack, create a tapped thing or seek a non-land card, and you have to alternate them. Or, I guess, if you're attacking every turn, you have to alternate them. You just can't do the same one 2 turns in a row. Okay. That's fun. That's fun. Everyone forgets about Equip 0 until Nadu is created. Yeah, no, it's funny. If Lightning Greaves didn't give Shroud, specifically, then it would have been just as usable as Shuko for Nadu abuse. Really funny. Out of all the very few 0-cost equip things they ever printed, one of them happens to give Shroud and therefore can't re-equip the same thing. Alright, let's open some real-ass brothers. None of this, oh. Uh-oh. It's still only 8 cards. Are all packs 8 cards? How much are they charging for a pack? Immediately after this pack, I'm going to go look. Physical packs are not. I mean, I know physical packs This is an arena. Okay. Is there? All right, hang on. Let me look at this first. Oh, it's that same thing again, but an exile and a sorcery, and it costs one more. That's not great. Unlike this great desert prospector. Create a tap power stone for each other creature you control. Goblin firebomb. That's really funny. I love when you can explore weird design spaces, like an artifact that costs 1 and its only ability costs 7 to activate, just because an artifact that costs 1 has value inherently because of other mechanics and cards. That's neat. Titania's Command. This is a real card. Choose 2. Oh, we doing choose 2s again, I see. Exile graveyard, gain a life for each card. Search library for up to 2 lands. Put them onto the battlefield tapped. Okay. Explosive vegetation. Make 2 bears. Put 2+1/+1 counters on each creature you control. That's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. Thorn of Amethyst. Oh, I don't remember what this was originally from, but I remember this was printed in a set while I was still playing. Okay. Now, hang on just a ding-dang diddly minute. So, alchemy packs are alchemy packs, and I vaguely understand alchemy's relationship to the real game now. Is this identified as an arena pack because of the symbol that's on it here? Does that symbol have some particular meaning? Like, if I opened a pack of just straight-up regular... Well, that's got that on it, too. I guess they all have that. Do all packs only have 8 cards, then? Is, I guess, what I'm really asking. Or is there some separate classification of pack that has 15? Yes. Okay. So you're only opening 15 cards per pack in explicitly the context of limited events. There is an open all button below, by the way. Yeah, but why would I ever use that? Okay. Hang on a hot second. Okay, so we already established gems in general cost... You get 150 gems for $1. Yeah, okay. Now packs... No, that's ones that I already have. Store. Okay, now packs... Packs. Packs. Regular packs. I'm assuming mythic packs have a guaranteed mythic. Or if they're real dicks about it, mythic packs are the only ones that can have a mythic. But I think I've opened a mythic already in regular packs. So I'm assuming these are just guaranteed mythic. Welcome back, Aloha. Packs are 200 gems or 1,000 gold at all quantities except for... Yeah. So... $1 is 150 gems. So $4 is 600. So $4 gets you 3 packs, of which each have 8 cards. Assuming packs still have a guaranteed rare and possible mythic rare, I guess that's not terrible compared to what you'd be paying for real cardboard, except that they're only in this game and not real cardboard. Okay. I'm gonna have to noodle on that, whether I think that's a reasonable rate or not. But for now, non-Alchemy Brothers War continues. Yay, I got a gold. I got a gold, man. Precious gold. There's also the wild card system, I suppose, yeah, for crafting. Desynchronize, I've seen that. Aeronaut Cavalry. Oh, Soldier Support. Was Brothers War a creature type set? I haven't really seen anything that seemed to care about that yet. I remember seeing this guy. I remember seeing this guy and being like, dang, that's what a 1-power haste creature for 1 looks like now. Jimbus Crimbus. We've come a long way since Raging Gay. I've seen him, seen you. Damn, they'll just put players can't gain life on anything now, huh? That's just an uncommon. Just like, fuck you, turn off that game you can't. Gwenna, Eyes of Gaia. You are a 2/3 for 3. Add 2 mana of whatever you want. Spend this mana only to cast creature spells or activate abilities of creatures. Whenever you cast a creature spell with power 5 or greater, put a +1/+. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's a pretty reasonable, like, legendary mana-producing creature. Can be a little hard to do those in a way that makes them exciting, but not busted, looking at you, Raphaelos. Monastery Swiftspear is like the king of 1 mana haste, guys. Yeah, that's the impression that I got from the discourse. Finally seeing the snooze bit IRL. Yes, you finally have confirmation that when I do the sudden snoring, it's not just with my nose. It is with my entire face. And my neck as well. We know him. Counter target spell or tap up to 2 target creatures. Okay, so they decided counter spell was too strong, but cancel wasn't quite good enough, I guess. Because they're printing things that are strictly better than cancel still. Gaia's Courser. Okay. Yeah, you're a nice limited bungus. Pristine Talisman. Huh. I'm kind of surprised now that I think about it that in the span of Magic that I played, we never saw a mana artifact, a Lil artifact, which has a couple different subgenres, but you've got your Lil mana-producing artifacts and your Lil life-gaining artifacts. I'm retroactively surprised that we never saw one that did both. But this beats the pants off of Braidwood Cup, which is the same thing, but doesn't give you mana. Thank you, Urza Block. Not all of your artifacts were broken. Trench Stalker. As long as you've drawn 2 or more cards this turn. Death Touch and Lifelink. Interesting. Play Night's Whisper with that boy. Whenever Ashnod's Harvester attacks, exile a card from a graveyard. Unearth for 2. Okay, that's simple, but I get it. Hercule's Final Meditation. 7 mana instant. During turns other than yours, this costs 10. Return all non-land permanents to their owner's hands and end the turn. Very funny. Very funny. Oh, okay. Non-land permanents makes that affect the game state very differently. I was reading that as upheaval plus time stop. It's not quite that. Very funny, though. Very funny. Yeah, I mean, yeah. That's fucking expensive if you want to use it the way people sometimes used Time Stop as a slightly scuffed time warp. But, I mean, yeah, that does a big thing. That's a card, that's your rare blue Timmy card, and I'm kind of here for it. I just can't remember why I hate blue, says Ollie Gladman. I see that card, and I'm like, I do very much remember why I love blue. All right, let's do normal Phyrexia before we get into alchemy weirdness. Okay, Mirren Bardish. For Mirrodin, when this equipment enters the battlefield, create a 2/2. Interesting that it's specifically red rebel creature token and attach this to it. So it comes in attached to, it's a vanilla 2/2. That's fun that they brought back the rebel creature type after all those years and in a completely different context. Equipped creature gets +2/+1 and has vigilance. That's fun. So for Mirrodin, you always have to read as, like, you have to read this as a 4/3 vigilance for 5. And then it leaves behind an equipment you can reuse on other creatures. Neat. And I see on this go with Mirrodin, maybe they did this as early as Scars of Mirrodin, and I don't remember because I think I only drafted it once. They decided not to pussyfoot around anymore, and they're just straight up printing artifacts that cost colored mana to play. Which I don't think was a boundary they crossed in Mirrodin block. They only, I believe, started printing artifacts that, like, required colored mana to use their abilities, or, like, specific colors of mana. Target creature gains Death Touch and Indestructible. That's interesting. I guess this is like, this is a removal spell with extra steps. You have to have a creature you can put this on, and it has to be able to, like, block something. I suppose with specific creatures, if you had a creature that could deal multiple damage spread out, like an Archmage or something, you could plausibly kill multiple things with this. Testament Bearer. 4 mana, 4/1. When it dies... okay. When it dies, do a thing that's kind of like that other mechanic they keyworded at some point, but not quite. They've been doing colored artifacts since the first Eldraine in almost every set. Okay. Colored artifacts started in Alara, or actually, you just missed them. I probably didn't miss them, but I don't remember them either. The last set, I feel like I pretty confidently remember what all was in it. Is probably Lorwyn Shadowmoor block. I was still drafting a lot during Alara, but the thing about Alara, first of all, it was during Alara that I picked up WoW again. So, like, I drafted lots of triple Alara, but very little Conflux, and I might not have drafted Alara Reborn a single time. Second, triple Alara, at least. Out of all the draft formats I ever played, triple Alara was the one where I most felt, oh, there's one correct thing to do here, and that was to force red, white, green. Doesn't matter what other people are trying to draft, just draft it. Just draft it until people get the message and stop trying to pick it because you're picking it. Because it was so much better than any of the other 3-color combinations in its overall card quality. So I did, like, you know, if I did Alara drafts for 6 weeks in a row, I just played whatever that shard was called 6 weeks in a row. So I don't remember the full span of the set as well as some others that I drafted that much. Anyway, we're a 1/4 flying for 3. We have 3 oil counters, and oil counters let you flowstone him. Okay, that's neat. That's yeah, sure, you're for limited and nothing else, but whatever. 1/1 flying for 2. Oh, right, proliferate. Yeah. Funny. White Sun's Twilight. You gain X life. Create X 1/1s. They are artifact creatures with Toxic. Britney Spears, 1998. A player dealt combat damage. Okay, so yeah, that's the poison counter giving mechanic. And this creature can't block. If X is 5 or more, destroy all other creatures. That's pretty neat. Pretty funny. I'd buy that for $1. I like me my white sweepers. Red, white, green was Naya. That's right, yeah. Yeah, no, just play Naya. Even if, like, everyone else is trying to draft Naya, you're better off having, like, a kind of mediocre Naya pile than a good draft in most of the other shards, was my eventual conclusion. Furnace Strider. Oh, okay. Yeah. You're for limited. Basilica Shepherd. Create some boys. Okay, so I guess these Phyrexian Mites are just a general thing. Can't block. Gives Poisson. That's pretty good for a common. 3/3 flyer for 5. Plus it brings 2 extra power of dudes. Yeah. When this enters, tap enchanted creature, end proliferate. Okay, yeah. Cephalopod Sentry. That's neat. I didn't play with this set. And I didn't draft Scars of Mirrodin very much. So this is old news. It's not like it's a recent thing they've done, but I like that when they finally decided, as was always inevitably going to happen, to bring back Phyrexia. I'm happy they went the direction with it they did, where they made Phyrexian spins on all the colors, instead of making it exclusively and explicitly black again. And they had to do it that way for the way they used it in the design of their sets, but like I'm glad they went that route because it makes it feel distinct from the old stuff. And while I don't know, I don't follow the lore, so maybe they've done this by now, but the fact that when they first brought it back, at least, they didn't bring back Yawgmoth specifically. They let him stay dead, at least initially. I do give them credit for that, because it would have been very easy to just be like, fuck it. It's been long enough since Invasion Block. Let's, break class and just bring back Thanos or whatever. I like me my White Sweepers. Leader of the Chimney Sweeps Guild after his second break. Yeah. They brought back Phyrexia too many times, sadly. Yawgmoth never returned. The villain just declared herself Mother of Machines. That's Triangle Head lady, right? The one who was in the art on White Sun's Twilight that I just saw. I've seen her around. I think she's the new big bad of Phyrexia. Fine. It's fine if they make a new big bad. I'm happy that they didn't just bring it back as it was. Thirsting Roots. Choose one. You can get a Lay of the Land, or you can proliferate. Elesh Norn, yeah, she's dead now, and so is Phyrexia. I mean, until eventually, but yes. Okay. 1/1 haste for 1. When you play a non-creature spell, put an oil counter on him, and you can tap him, remove a counter. Okay, so this is like, you play him as a Raging Goblin, and then eventually, when he's too small to attack anymore, he can deal a little more damage. Not amazing, but sure. Affinity. Okay, they did just bring back regular-ass affinity for artifacts. Creatures you control get +2/+1 till end of turn. Malcator, Purity Overseer. When he enters, he's a 1/1 for 3. He makes a 3/3 golem artifact creature with him. At the beginning of your unstep, if 3 or more artifacts entered the battlefield... entered the battlefield? Wait. Why doesn't that say entered under your control? Why does that say entered the battlefield, but up here it just says enters? Why would they abbreviate it once and then stop abbreviating it? Usually they do it the other way, where they do a full thing once and then abbreviate it thereafter. Is there a mechanical difference that I'm not understanding? Whatever. If 3 or more artifacts came into play under your control this turn, make another one. Okay. So he can't pop off mid-turn because that only triggers once, but he's not an artifact himself, so it's a little harder to get it to trigger on the turn you play him. He brings the golem, but he doesn't, he's only good for 1 artifact on his own. Still, Arena probably went back and updated cards. Entered versus enters, tense-wise. Sure, but... at the beginning, why you could just, tense, sure, but you could say, when this enters, da-da-da-da-da, if 3 or more artifacts entered on this turn, da-da-da-da-da. I just don't understand why the battlefield has to be there. The second effect looks back at what you did during the turn. Enters was a recent change is all. Like last set. Oh, I see. So maybe this is like... an auto text replace thing. They only decide to do it for literal ETB effects. So they wouldn't... they would only abbreviate it enters when it is very specifically... this comes into play from your hand triggered effect, and not if it's any more complex than that, maybe. Maybe this pack will hold the answers. A Glistener Seer. Oh, that's neat. Probably, I mean, yeah, since it's also got 3 booty for 1, this is probably playable in limited. There's no way to add the oil counters back inherently, and it doesn't actually get you any card advantage, so this is maybe a little questionable, a little marginal, maybe playable in limited. This has for Mirrodin. Okay, not too bad. Offer immortality. Yeah, we've seen you. Oh, fun. Equipped creatures gain indestructible. Zealot's Conviction. A flash aura. As long as an opponent has 3 or more poison counters. Enchanted creature. Okay. So they wanted, that's clever game design. Make it so that poison counters do anything in a number between 0 and 9. So that it's not quite as binary in the effect they have on the game. That's wise. That's wise. That was always one of the biggest problems with poison counters as a design space. When it enters, exile, boo. Oh, okay. We got, like, Faceless Butcher. Or, Oblivion Ring. Light. Diet. Whoa. My first Planeswalker. Kaya, Intangible Slayer. Hexproof. 7 mana, 6 loyalty, +2 for drain life for 3 from all opponents. Not too bad. 0 for draw 2 cards, opponents may scry 1. Okay. -3 for exile a creature or enchantment. If it wasn't an aura, go to sleep. Create a token. That's a copy of it. Except it's a 1/1 white spirit creature with flying in addition to its other types, so... Okay, so... Steal a creature or enchantment and staple its abilities onto a 1/1 white flyer body. That's neat. Hexproof on a Planeswalker is interesting. I suppose it does prevent many ways that they could easily be dealt with otherwise. But it has less inherent value than hexproof on a creature, since your opponent can actually deal combat damage to a planeswalker, whereas they cannot manually have their creatures deal combat damage to yours outside of specific abilities. It's a pun, you see. She turns people into ghosts. Okay. Okay. She's alive, but has the ability to turn spectral and thus kill ghosts. She's just a person who can phase through shit. Okay. It's a fun flavor. Alright, now let's get into the alchemy of Phyrexia. You're a regular card. Oh. Well. Wait. Exile target creature if it has mana value 3 or less. Exile that creature instead. Okay, so I got hung up on that because exile that creature instead really sounds like something they would do when the base effect was just destroy. But if I'm interpreting this correctly, this means you can always exile a creature if it has mana value 3 or less. If its controller has 3 or more poison counters, it's exiled regardless of its mana value. Yeah, it lacks the qualifier. It's worded poorly. It's so creatures that don't fit the base condition can be targeted. Like, that makes sense. Yeah, you'd have to word it that way. You'd have to do this if it meets this condition rather than target creature with, because that would restrict you being able to play it at all. It's a weird way to say exile that creature instead when the base already says exile target creature. That's really badly worded, in my opinion. I don't know if this is the OG wording that was printed on the physical card, or if this is like Oracle text after Oracle text updates, or just how it reads in Arena. But exile target creature, or maybe exile it. I'm not even 100% sure if I've interpreted it correctly. And because what they mean, I assume, is exile that creature regardless of its mana value instead. But I guess they did it this way because they wanted some kind of standardization of how corrupted sits on a card. But really, this card should just say, exile target creature if it has mana value 3 or less, or its controller has 3 or more poison counters. That would be way more processable than this. Than exile target creature, or maybe exile that creature. What I'm saying. That's, yeah, no. Don't word it that way. I don't like that. Okay. That's right. They kind of just made haste a green ability eventually, in a way it wasn't for a long time. Which I guess I'm fine with, because green is supposed to have good creatures, and not having haste makes a creature much, much better as far as how it can utilize combat. Fleshless Gladiator. 2/2 for 2. And you can recurse it, but only if an opponent has 3 or more poison counters. When Quicksilver Lapidary enters, put a Mox Opal into your hand. Huh. And because Mox Opal has this symbol, I imagine this card is alchemy only, and maybe doesn't even exist on its own. Maybe it's only created by other cards. That's fun. As long as the opponent has Death Touch and Lifelink. Look at the top 3 cards, put 1, okay, okay, yeah, it's only slightly less than an Impulse. It's less by 1 card, and a Proliferate, neat. X Gold Sledge. Oh, he has multiple guys. He brings a dude who's holding him, and he also makes a little guy who is a 1/1 Trampler. That's fun. Galma the Shaper. 3/3 Vigilance for 3. When he attacks, put 1 of these in your hand. Artifact. Oh. Then create a 1/1 colorless artifact creature. Well. That's pretty fun. Anything that's any form of glorious anthem to the tune of +2/+2 for only 3 mana. That's got my attention. Mox Opal is a real card. Okay. Doesn't otherwise exist on Arena, though, I think. Okay. Alright. Let's wait for the server. I just realized the main menu in this game has music, but nothing else does. So there's been nothing in the background other than nothing for a long time. Let's remedy that, shall we? Let's remedy that with some stuff that's probably not gonna get me, like, copyright struck or whatever the equivalent is on Twitch. Yeah, you know what? Let's just, we'll just use the playlist that I use for the Gathering Cards intro. Why not? Because I've got that handy, and it's good vibing music. Bring the ending! 2/3 of a mana leak, and... Okay, they're, Alright, this one's a little more processable because it's counter target spell unless, and then the alternative is counter that spell instead. Alright, this one I'll buy. I think it's still a little awkward, but this is more intelligible than that other one. Okay. Little white weenie poison card. Seething Skitter Priest. 3/3. He's Toxic 1. We need to bring that one tutorial voice actress back so there's noise happening. I think I can do without that Mote of Light for the moment. When he enters, creatures you control and creature cards in your hand perpetually gain. When this creature dies, oh, make one of these little Jimbles. That's pretty good. Another one of those. Plague Nurse. Oh. Okay, activate only once each turn, but yeah. Goodness. Yeah, I mean, that massively ramps up the value you can get out of things with Toxic 1, which appears to be overwhelmingly the most common Toxic number out of the box. Especially on these tokens. Okay, yeah, that's neat. For people who were, oh, the music's pretty loud compared to me. This is where I usually have it for gathering cards. I'll turn it down just a smidge. Smidge, which I believe is about 5 decibels. Kemba's Outfitter. Choose an equipment card in your hand. It perpetually gains equip 1. Or target equipment you already control perpetually gains an equipment 1. And it's a Savannah Lions. I mean, that looks pretty good to me. That looks pretty good to me. It's pretty good, lady. Let's see. Can someone who was playing, like, Limited when this set was released... assess for me how viable was killing your opponent with poison counters in Limited? Was that like very common? Was it kind of a pipe dream still? Was it like way too oppressive? Was it balanced? I'm curious if they managed to make that work. Oh. I will add the permitted term motherfucker. My auto mod thought it might constitute bullying. From what I hear, as in all will be one, I guess, was breakneck. Between Poison and Rebels, games went fast. Too easy, I hated it. I liked it. Okay, there's at least some debate on the matter. Surgical Metamorph. One less to cast if you weren't starting player. Any permanent on the battlefield except... Oh, okay. I mean, that's just a much better clone. And then it's fair, clone's not an amazing card. It was printed in ABU, and it wasn't, you know, Power 9. So, yeah, that makes sense. This seems like a reasonable update. Fuck Infect. Infect sucked. Yeah, I mean, we already know you hate Infect, Savvy. But I don't know how much of that is because you were playing Limited at this time and thought it was too oppressive and ended games too quickly, and how much of that is because it supplanted Wither, which was a mechanic you liked. Both. Okay. Free from flesh. That's weird. They don't usually give red giant growths. Nice that there are generic cards that add oil to things that don't have a way of doing it themselves. Menace and Toxic. Okay, just your basic evasive poison boy. Yeah, Toxic 2. Okay. The Fair Basilica. Oh, okay. I'm gonna assume there's one of these for each color. That's nice. That's a nice, simple, single color, non-basic land idea. There's never been a Wither set, but every so often. Yeah. I liked Wither. Wither was a lot of fun. Wither and Persist were a very interesting combination of mechanics. I liked the limited format there. Forge Hammer Centurion. You're a 3/2 for 3. When a creature or artifact you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, put an oil counter on this. When it attacks, you may remove 2 oil counters. When you do, target creature can't block this turn. Alright, that doesn't do very much. Target creature, singular, can't block is a very weak effect. So I have to assume, really, what you want this guy for is accumulating oil counters that you can then, like, do something with somehow through other means. I suppose he's a 3/2 for 3, so it's not like his ability has to be amazing to make him playable in Limited. This is a little underwhelming relative to when I assumed this set existed. Methadral Slime. I do like black-green. 3/3 trample for 3. When he dies, make an extra copy of him in your graveyard. Perpetually double the power and toughness of both, and then shuffle them into their owner's library. I'm not really sure why the extra step of even making it in your graveyard first. I guess so that, like, instant speed things that hit graveyards can interact with this, as opposed to it just going straight back into your deck and putting something directly into your deck. That's a lot of consonants. Vexier, Iktekix Air. A 3-color, 3/4 for 3. When you seek one or more cards, make a 3/3, and they all have vigilance. Not bad. Not bad. Alright, we've gotten through a tiny, pathetic, embarrassing number of packs in this amount of time. I want to mix things up a little, because as you can see, I could literally I could do another easy 4 hours of streaming just opening these at the rate that we're going. And I think I only have about another hour, so rather than just do that the whole time, I want to... I'm not gonna do jump in because I don't know how many games that commits me to in an immediate turn. Like if it's like a multi, play until you whatever. So I'm not gonna do that yet. I am gonna do... So there's starter deck duels. This is against humans. And you just choose one of the precons to play against someone else. That's nice. You win a couple cards and not really anything other than that. So you don't win much for it, but there's that. What is an alchemy event? Okay, so you do actually have to have a deck for this, and it also costs money. So we're not doing that. Explorer event. Bring your Explorer deck. I don't know what that is. I'm assuming that's a format I've never heard of. Historic event. Play with a curated list of cards throughout MTG Arena's history. That's very vague. And that costs money. Standard event, traditional standard, traditional historic, traditional alchemy. Okay, I'm pretty sure what we're doing is either just gonna be starter deck duel or... Let's try color challenge, because I think this said it, like, unlocks, card style, 1 uncommon and 2 common wild cards. Alright, admittedly, that's not a whole lot. I'm kind of curious, what does a card style mean? And is it a specific one, or is it, like, a chit that I can redeem for any card style that I want? I'll tell you what. Let's try blue. Also, be aware, some black creatures have effects when they die, so, fucking watch out for that. Oh, they reprinted Festering Goblin, but it can't hit your own creatures if your opponent doesn't have any. That's nice. Yeah, you know what? Let's do it. What is this deck? It is a 60-card deck. This looks pretty much like what I would expect from a blue precon. It's 25 lands. I'm not even gonna look at the specific cards. This is the tutorial with rigged decks to draw cards in an order that makes sense for new players. Okay, I was hoping that was the tutorial and that this would be with precons, but at least be real games. It sounds like the answer is no. Let me try one. Let me try one and see what this is. Exactly.
Always stepping.
There might be actual music now, so let me turn off my BGM real quick. Well, it's at least giving me a 7-card hand. It didn't show me drawing it, so indeed this might be a pre-made hand. But there's no tutorial ball of light telling me what to do, so I'll take it. The game sound effects seem kind of loud in my ear relative to me. So I'm gonna turn these down even more than the game music. And you can tell me, chat, how you're thinking. Here come the shambling gamblings. Okay, creature spells with flying cost 1 less. That would get me this guy the next turn. Or a 2/1 no, I want 2 toughness so that I can freely block these guys. So here goes. Bip. Oh, I can't freely block these guys because when they die, they'll just deal the last point. Oh, but they're stupid. They don't know that. They're not attacking anyway. I've cheated them. Ah, a 2/1 vanilla for 2. I'm pretty sure you only exist in this mode. Okay. Island. Actually, so this guy is kind of an anthem. I have 4 mana. If I play 2 of these guys this turn, then I can benefit from this even more so on the following turn. So I think that's what I'm going to go for. Let's go to combat and attack. And let's play you. And let's play you. Why? Oh, when he enters, draw a card. For some reason, I read that as when he dies, draw a card. And yeah, let's play another one. Oh, I guess I should have played that instead, but that's okay. I can still go fucking crazy on my next turn. Attacking with everything. You bench. Well, I don't want to block these guys because they can freely kill my dudes. Do I want to trade at all? They played another one pre-combat like a fucking fool. Nah, I think that's fine. Just take damage. Draw. Okay. It's time to go nuts for donuts. Another one. And I have 3 mana left, so I can still play this guy. Big. Die. And they didn't attack for some fucking reason. I guess, I mean, technically this guy can freely block these, so that makes an amount of sense. Sengir Vampire, but that has flying. This is bullshit. Alright, play an island. I mean, hell, let's draw 2 more cards. Why not? Oh, yeah, that's a good one. How much mana? Yeah, and I have enough mana to do this. Oh, this is going to be ugly. Sorry, friend. Looks like you're mega fucked. Beat her ass. Is it weird that I take umbrage? You should know, Savvy. What you've written there is Umbridge, the Harry Potter character's name. The word is spelled, the word that just means what the way you're using it there is spelled U-M-B-R-A-G-E, umbrage. Is it weird that you take umbrage with the way the cards become landscape in Arena? It is weird. It feels weird as someone who's used to playing in paper, but yeah, I think they'd be insane to not do that with how they need to prioritize screen real estate. Because unlike in pen and paper, you can't just keep expanding. And you don't want to get into a place where you can only see all the cards by scrolling your view left and right. Okay. Let's make a guy. And let's have a scry. I don't want to draw another island. Let's put you on the bottom. Just got back. Did we manage to open all the packs before the stream ended? Oh boy, didn't we? We opened like 12 to 15 and had like 40 more, so I decided to do something else for a while in lieu of making that the whole thing. Elysian Caryatid. Add a mana of any color. If you control a creature with power 4 or greater, add 2 instead. Okay, you're not bad. We've come a long way from the days of Quirion elves for 2 mana elves. Let's get this guy on board, so our shit is cheaper. We can go double Cloudkin Seer on the next turn. This is fun, because you see, I can't narrate my play like this in the prog, because I can't talk about what's in my hand. This is very freeing. Here's a Cloudkin Seer. What do we draw? Okay. Here's another one. And an unsummon. Okay, not bad. These don't have reach or anything, right? Okay. Die. Oh, fuck you. You've instantly shut down my entire deck with a single card, you bitch. And attack with these 3. I guess that makes sense. Also, that's really funny. Now that they've played this, they have like 12 mana with these things. I mean, I don't really want to... I'm not going to trade. No, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go for a race. So I'm just going to block one of these guys and take 2. Oh, okay. A second unsummon does actually help a lot. So next turn, we're going to want to play this. I think we just pass this turn. Probably she'll attack with... Oh, this has... No, okay, it's fine that it has Vigilance. Probably she'll attack with this. I can unsummon it on end step. Hang on, do I want to unsummon on main phase now, though? If I unsummon it now, I can swing for 6. Take 3 back, she replays it. But then I have to unsummon again, and music is, maybe needs to be turned down as well. Once these bagpipes came in, I'm just gonna turn the master down a little more, and yeah, I'm gonna cut you down a bit, sir. Music a little higher than the others, but... what are these people who are like 70% ear doing in chat? I don't know what that means. 70% ear. Clarify, sir. No. I think we're gonna hold here, because if I wait to unsummon on end step, I get the attack, I get to play this when I have 6 next turn, and then I can unsummon again after that. So we are going to just pass. Yeah, that's fine. Declare your attackers. Yep, that makes sense. Possible giant growths, but I don't think I have the luxury of caring. Wait. Yeah, I know that's what that is. I'm trying to... Oh, I have to pass before I can declare blockers. Okay, yeah. So we're gonna block the 2/2. We'll block a 1/1 and kill it, and I'll take 6. Yeah, that's fine. That's weird. Wait. Took 6 there, right? And I thought I took 2 before. Why do I still have 14 life? I was not paying attention. Anyway, that's fine. Oh, God. Did it skip straight to my turn? Or am I on their end step? I don't know. I haven't drawn a card yet. No, I think I'm on... Hang on. I need to be sure. End step. Okay, okay. I am on end step. Before the man... Oh, they tapped those to... Okay, I gotcha, I gotcha. I just didn't pay attention then. Alright, then end step, we unsummon this. Get out of here. Let's see. Yeah, I can see that now. I just didn't know where to look for that information before. Okay, so this has no bearing on combat. Let's just go to combat and attack. Yeah, there's a little value in keeping this back to block these, but not a lot, and they won't necessarily attack anyway. So we're just going to get in for 6 while the getting's good. Blockers to damage. And then, we play this guy. Big. Mm-hmm. So I can activate this guy, but he's already big enough to not care about these guys, really. So, so I could try and do a little debate here if I attack with this and they gang block it to try and kill it. I could unsummon one of their guys to kill the other. I was originally thinking I was just gonna unsummon this and attack with flyers this turn, and that's probably good enough. But if I could use the unsummon as effectively a removal spell, that would be pretty nice. The annoying thing, though, is that if I just attack with this and nothing else... No, if I attack with this and nothing else, they'll probably just chump block it, because then they can crack back for at least as much. Yeah, no, we stick to the original plan. We're just gonna unsummon this bitch right now so that it can't block at all this turn. And we go, go, go. Oh, they're not even gonna chump. I don't think that's a very good idea. Yeah, I mean, that's big, but that doesn't help when you have 2 life there, friend. All right, well, die. Not you. The AI in this game ain't spectacular. Yeah, it plays well enough to not be insulting, so I think I'm okay with it. Fencing ace. What is this? Oh, this is just telling me what double strike is. I wonder if he'll have any cards with double strike. Wow. Oh, well, that loading screen tip was not there for long enough for me to see what it said. That's a lot of islands. Unsummon Cloud Concealer. Okay, this is not a great looking hand. But we'll try. Oh god, that's another island. Oh, Oz is here. Hello, Oz. I'll make you a mod too. Wowie zowie. Bamp. 1/1 double strike. You got it, buddy. That sucks for me. Let's just do this. Pray to draw something that's not an island. Fuck my life. Alright. Oh!
I don't think that was a good idea. I think you meant to put it on your guy and hit me for 6.
No, this lets me attack. It's just +2/+2. Damn, that's like something the Chandelar AI would do. The Chandelar AI, which God bless its heart, knows how to do some things, but does not understand. For all the opponents in that game who clearly have a deck that's like, I'm going to play Phantasmal Terrain and turn one of my opponent's lands into an island for all of my Island Walk creatures, they just don't know that's what they're supposed to do. Anyway, well, I mean, shit, dog. If you're, yeah. That's really bizarre. I haven't seen the AI do anything nearly that demented in the tutorial or any of the previous games. What are you doing? Why? Is this a charity? I mean, okay, yeah, now you can do that too, but wouldn't you rather have a 5/5 double strike? I shake my head sadly. Kids these days. Yeah, you can declare attacks. I'll take 2. Seems unsporting to do anything else. Oh, okay. He's just got an unsummon on him. I mean, I can unsummon this guy and replay it. I suppose that's better than just leaving him there pacified. But I'm not sure I really need to. Doesn't actually gain me a ton, because without the buffs, he can't be in combat with this guy ever. Well, I mean, no, he can't trade. He's a 2-1, right? Yeah. I guess he becomes a 3-2 that can trade with it if I play this guy, but this guy bounces that anyway. Yeah, I kind of feel like just sitting on the unsummons, because he's already wasted so many cards for no reason at all. He doesn't do anything pacified, though. And I do have another unsummon staple to this guy. Nah, alright. I'll unsummon him and replay him. I should have unsummoned him at the end of my opponent's turn, though it doesn't really matter in this case. Another one. Okay. And... Sure, man. Go ahead. Do that. This is really weird. The AI has never done shit like this. Alright, well, I mean, I'm gonna play this guy, and I'm gonna fucking return the other fencing ace, the one you didn't already pacify yourself. Yeah, we'll do that. And he gets pumped. And swing for 5. Poor guy. What's going on in that handsome head of his? Hey! He, well, that was the wrong one, but you didn't play it on one of my creatures, so we're making progress. Oh, what a world, what a world. Need to steal the Master Duel AI. The spot does not know what it's doing. Yeah, the Master Duel AI usually isn't quite that broken. It's not good. It was not that bad when I did these challenges. I mean, that would have actually been somewhat difficult if they'd played those pump spells on their own guy. I would have taken a ton of damage. And I would have had to use the unsummons a lot earlier. So that would have actually been a game if they had pacified my creatures and pumped their creatures consistently. The Street... Oh, I thought... Tin Street Cadet. I thought this just said, The Street Cadet! The Streeter. Whenever he becomes blocked, make another guy, or make a 1/1 with no ability. Okay, we've got a Save My Ass spell, 2 of these guys, and that guy. Alrighty. There he is! The Street Cadet! Yeah, I'll take one. No turn 2 play from the red deck. Love to see it. Yeah. Just attack. And play another one of these guys. Bim. Spell Gorger Weird. How unusual. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on him. Okay. And yeah, he's gonna attack. That makes sense. Yeah, I'm not gonna trade that. You crazy? Nah, I'll take one. I don't think I'm gonna bother with the unsummon. I'm happy to trade one of these guys for this guy if it comes to it. And I don't necessarily have to trade. I can glint if I want to keep something alive. In which case, do I want to use the glint? Because if I glint, I can't play the Seer this turn. And the Seer pumps them both anyway, so I get a little extra damage. Yeah, given that I've got these guys still, I don't think I desperately need to glint just to try and get a favorable trade with this thing. This is only when he does, right? Okay, yeah, when he casts a non-creature spell. All right, so we're just gonna play this and give our guys +1/+1. Draw a card. It's another glint. Okay, and yeah, we'll attack. Okay, he does want to trade. That's fine by me. And we'll pass. When are we getting a YouTube poop set? This is what I've been saying. I understand very little of Magic besides how the numbers in the bottom corner work, but I'm always quite content to just listen to you and your folks have fun. I'm happy to hear that. I'll take one. And I don't think I see any compelling reason to unsummon that, so I won't. Okay, nice. We did draw the land that we need for this guy. If we play him, Waterkin Shaman goes to 2/3 or 3/2. Cloudkin Seer gets his bonus power, but I can't glint. And since I've already lost one, I think, and I have 2 glints now, I really should try and get value out of these. So I think we are gonna try and go for the glint trade here. So let's go to combat and let's attack. 2 blockers. Oh, he's not gonna block this time. All right. I guess he's okay with taking 2. He just didn't want to take 3. I've got an unsummon in case he plays a bunch of spells and makes this big, so we're just gonna drop this. What you got for me? Oh, that's a scary card. All right, take my guy, punch me in the face. Wait. What the fuck just happened? You active treasoned nothing? You active treasoned one of your own creatures, perhaps? Were you taught to play by a Johnny Goldmane? Alright, well, I can't help these people, it seems. I mean, shit, dog. I guess I just unsummon this. Because then I can attack with this and glint to not trade with the Tin Street Cadet. Oh, I like that it shows you, when you know, just leaves it face up.